But you can see him on all kinds of national outlets, and make sure you watch him on NFL Network and all of his John Boy Media ventures. He is Chris Rose. Hello, Chris.
Christopher.
Hello, gentlemen. And before I forget, yes, Austin Hedges is our latest guest on Dugout Discussions. Now, we had to tape it because of a scheduling issue right before the Guardians went on this ridiculous run. They were probably, I'm going to say, it was before the Detroit series last week, so I know that. So, it doesn't fully encompass what they're going through right now, but it's got enough good Guardians talk in there where you're going to want to listen. It's on our JM Baseball YouTube channel or wherever you download. The show is Dugout Discussions.
5 games to go. Are they going to the playoffs?
I wish I was on tomorrow. Because if they win tonight, now what did I tell you last week when I think the last question you asked was, can they catch Seattle?
Yeah, no, you were right.
I told you?
You were 100% right, yeah.
Where I said...
And you said worry about Houston,
Seattle,
didn't you? Yeah.
It's Houston. I said it's Houston, and that's exactly where we are because I don't believe Houston has won since. They got swept by Seattle in Texas over the weekend, so they basically lost the division right there. And then last night, for those of you that didn't stay up late, our little plucky Athletics, we can't call them the Sacramento A's, but that's where they play.
Tell them what we call them.
Los Oclamento.
I love that. Good, go with that.
You can go with it, too.
Yeah, you can use it.
Yeah.
I like it. The A's came up mighty, and so helped us out. Remember, we own the tiebreaker over the Astros, but we have bigger fish to fry in our home near Lake Erie, namely go win that frickin' division. And tonight is enormous. If we're able to get to Flaherty at all and Bibby's able to keep his emotions in check, and that's the number one thing I worry with him a little bit, is if we win this one, God almighty, we're going to be in a great spot because the Tigers go to Fenway this weekend.
The stunning thing, Chris, Andy and I have kicked this around. Okay, one team can get hot, and win 11 of 12. Like our team has. And another team could go in the tank and lose 10 of 11, like the Tigers have. But what are the odds in September of both of those things happening? It's astronomical.
I'm shocked. I'm shocked in part because of... Go look at the OPS, and for people that are kind of old-schoolish baseball fans, and you sit there and say, well, what does that matter compared to batting average? Well, the batting average ain't good either. Outside of J-Ram, Manzardo, and Kwan, nobody in last night's starting lineup, so the biggest game of the year against the best pitcher in the sport, had higher than a 640 OPS. And that is jarring. League average is right around 700, just to let you know. And we had a handful of guys who are even below 600 that were in the starting lineup. It just doesn't make sense in how they've gotten it done. We have gotten to know the starting pitchers over this year, but most even good baseball fans cannot tell you a thing about a Parker Messick, a Joey Cantillo, guys like that who have come in
Slade
and
Ciccone.
Well, Slade, that's another one, obviously. They just know that we traded Josh Naylor. Most people couldn't name who we traded him for.
Mm-hmm.
It really is incredible. Carl Willis is a witch in the best way possible. And I'm so proud of these guys because I didn't predict it. I thought Detroit was going to win the division by double digits, and for most of the year, it certainly felt that way.
Yeah.
29 days ago, we were 12 and a half back. 29. It's incredible. Let's go finish the job.
Chris, they were under 500 this month.
Yep. Yep.
That's unbelievable.
All right, so let me ask you this, because you're sitting in California and you might get a better feel for this. And I was reading ESPN this morning. First of all, I was super upset about a story they had yesterday that said that the Guardians were the 14th best rotation heading into the playoffs if they made it, which is another story for another day. My bigger question for you is, because you're sitting in California, is the story the Guardians uprising, or is it the default or the deflation of the Tigers? the falling apart.
I think most of the time when there's a situation like this, we tend to focus on the negative.
Yeah.
But I'm trying to use the bigger lens out here. I do think that most people are giving the Guardians credit. I really do. And the whole guards ball thing was on steroids last night. The sixth inning, guys, we're all around the same age. I can't ever remember an inning like that where you have back-to-back bunts, a guy who thought he was going to replace Frank Ragnow as the Lions starting center, your best player fighting off pitches and then getting a swinging bunt, a guy squaring around a bunt and taking high 90s to the face.
Yeah.
A guy who never loses his composure on the mound, then balking and throwing a wild pitch. It just doesn't make sense what transpired. There was one ball that left the infield, and it was snapped between somebody's legs. That is not guards baseball. They rewrote whatever the hell that was last night because I had never seen it before, and I'm still shaking my head today.
Chris, I don't think there's anything for any of us to say except we've been enjoying this so much, and as you said, tonight's so critical, and we're just sitting here with 5 games to go, and we all have our fingers crossed. I don't know what else that you can do.
There isn't. Here's what I would say. So I was up in New Jersey over the weekend. I was finishing some work at John Boy, and I traveled with my buddy, the former Minnesota Twin, Trevor Plouffe, with whom I do baseball today every day.
Ding.
And we're sitting at the airport, and my oldest son, Josh, who lives back here, FaceTimes me. It's in between the doubleheader, sitting at the airport ready to fly home. And he's like, Dad, can you believe it? We are right there, and Detroit lost again. I'm like, yeah, it's pretty amazing. He goes, what is the matter with you? Why can't you enjoy it? And he's like, yeah. And he goes, you are so afraid to enjoy the ride. And you know what? We can laugh. Josh was 100% right.
He's right.
He's right.
Yeah, he is right.
I brought this up to Jeff this morning. I said, there are people out there right now that aren't looking at where their feet are, and they're going, well, it doesn't matter because, once they get to the playoffs, they're going to get beat in the first round anyway. They're not as good as the good teams. And I'm just like, shut up. Just shut up. I don't want to hear it.
I think we, as Clevelanders, we all have a little bit of that in us. My default line is that Cleveland sports fans are 90% scar tissue, and instead of waiting for the next Uber to pick us up, we're waiting for the next bus to come around the corner and run us over.
Sure.
We have to stop with that mentality. This is an unprecedented run. They are the first team in the history of divisional play to have trailed by this many games at some point in the season and then come back and grab the lead at some point. Do we want them to finish the job? Will it hurt if it goes the wrong direction? Absolutely. But I can't wait until 3:40 my time for first pitch today. I am that excited about it. I'm fired up. I'm ready. This is the playoffs, and it's incredible. And there's no way 3 weeks ago I thought this was even possible. So the playoffs started a week early for us, and let's roll.
It's been an absolute blast. With that said, let's talk a little football.
It's Detroit week, or is it Michigan week? I can't tell.
Whatever it is, it's going well. Talk about improbable. You're down 10-0. You haven't looked good on offense all day. You have under 4 minutes to go, and you win a football game against a team that was talking about going undefeated. Oh, goodness. That worked, didn't it? What about this defense makes you think, and I thought this is the last big test against Detroit, but it's starting to look like the Guardians pitching staff, the starting staff, it's going to keep you in every game, Chris.
Yeah, I think so. This one's going to be really tough. The Detroit, they dropped 52 last week on Chicago, and they just ran through a Baltimore team, which I know is having defensive issues, except when they play us. They're really good, but so's our defense. And to me, the most amazing aspect of this is that they've done it with 2 really good corners and virtually nothing behind them. I know Miles Harden did some good things, but he also had a PI, that could have set them up for a game-winning field goal. We're really barren back there. The MJ Emerson injury was crushing. And I'm shocked that teams have not figured out a way to expose our lack of depth in that area. With that being said, this team is, like, I shudder when we have the ball. I look forward to when the other team has it, which is a weird way to go through rooting for your football team. But what did I tell you at the beginning of the year? Remember you asked me, who are you most looking forward to out of this rookie class? And I think a lot of people expected either Judkins when he would eventually sign, or to say Fannin, or to see one of the rookie quarterbacks. And I was like, Carson Schlesinger. And he is filthy. He is awesome. That sack that I have no idea why Jordan Love didn't throw the ball away and took an unnecessary hit, but it was like the cleanest, meanest hit that we've seen in a while. We don't have a lot of linebackers in our recent history that hit like that can pursue like that can be explosive like that. And we've been fortunate now enough in the last 5 years to have J.O.K. when he was healthy to do that, and now Schlesinger.
You like the thought that they're catching them after Monday Night Football? If you kind of go back and look through the last 5 years, it's about it's 50-50 on teams that have to play in the short week.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, dude, our first 6 games are brutal. Yeah, and we knew that going in.
Yeah,
it's just, I don't know. I don't really. That stuff doesn't add up for me.
So I
think that Dan Campbell's going to have his team ready.
Yeah, I do too. What's your gut on Joe Flacco right now and where they're going with this thing? Because if they were 0-3, I was all for pulling the trigger. You know how hard it is to try to even think about making the playoffs at 0-3. But 1-2 changes things a little bit, and it changes the whole dynamic. What's your overall thought on Flacco and what they need to do down the road here?
Well, I think you're going to be seeing Dillon Gabriel up next, and I do think that it'll be soon. I really do. Barring a shocking performance by our offense over the next 3 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if the next time we have a home game on American soil that somebody else might be there. And I just think that part of that is because of what they have to do. They might have to look at both guys to see what they've got. And if it's not even for a starter's role, it's to feel good about a backup role moving forward. Now, if the Browns are 3-3 after 6 games, I don't think that'll happen. But if they're 1-5 or 2-4 and the offense still hasn't gotten any better, then you have to say, well, the younger guys might be able to give us a little different look, obviously to use the mobility, because go watch the rest of the games, guys. If it's 2nd and 4, a lot of quarterbacks can pick up an easy first down. I'm not blaming Joe. He's 40 years old, and it never was really a huge part of his game. But that part of whatever is in the playbook is taken out. And I think with Dillon Gabriel, and maybe even to some degree Shador, even though it's not his forte, they could get you some easier first downs.
Chris Rose, thank you. Make sure you check out Dugout Discussions with Chris Rose on John Boy Media. Austin Hedges says Cal Raleigh is your 2025 AL MVP, plus much, much more on that. By the way, congratulations on 4.9 stars out of 5, my friend. It's impressive.
Oh, well, that's nice. I appreciate that. That's very nice. We also have a restaurant that's available if you'd like to eat there, too. I'm kidding. We don't have that.
Goodbye, Chris.
See you, bud.
Bye, guys.
See you, brother. All right, Chris Rose, who's on the Fan Hotline.